So Satine says with a straight face, I hope I haven't kept you waiting, and all the Bohemian scum sit around waiting. The bitchy dancer does show back up to taunt Christian, and the Argentinian gives Christian this bit of advice. Never fall in love with a woman who sells herself. It always ends up bad. Wah, wah. The Argentinian gets a dance number where he sings Roxanne by the Police, intercut with the Duke and Satine. It's quite good. But fuck that bitchy girl who's in it. I hate her, and she's in this dance sequence a lot. Jealousy overcomes Christian at this point in the song, and that's fine, I guess. I don't even really know at this point. Satine decides right then that she can't go through with sleeping with the Duke, and the Duke tries to force himself on her, which is horrible and all, but I can understand his frustration. It seems like it's been weeks that he's been promised this. The Duke also says some monumentally stupid shit, because Satine is looking down at Christian, who's at the base of this building, and they're like on a balcony, and it's like it just finally clicked with him, and he says something about how Christian is the sitar player, and it's like, you just made a speech about this earlier, and it's like, no shit, Christian is the fucking sitar player. The bitchy lady actually said it to you. He got it earlier, the Duke did. He fucking got it. And he changed the ending, and Christian shouted at him, and it was really fucking obvious. Jesus Christ. So the Duke is still trying to rape Satine at this point, right afterwards. And luckily she is saved by a nameless black man, who helps to gloss over the fact that people were terribly racist in 1899, the Summer of Love. And this dude just happens to be in the room, that's really not given any context. The nameless black man takes Satine to Christian, where she confesses that she cannot go through with pretending to love someone else, and that she does love Christian, which is nice, I guess. She also mentions that the Duke finally figured out that they were in love, and somehow they both don't burst into fucking laughter at his ineptness. Christian and Satine decide that they must flee together, which always works out in films, and they do so with the help of the black guy, whose name they do say, so he's not nameless, so there. The Duke is of course pissed now. He says that the play will end the way he wants, and Satine will come to him after the show, or the Duke will have Christian killed. Zidler warns Satine as she packs to leave, and Satine berates him for making her think she was worth only as much as someone would pay for her? Did he raise her? Zidler has been nothing but kind and helpful to her pretty much for the whole fucking movie, except the whole selling her part, which means he wasn't, I guess. Whatever. Zidler also informs her that she is dying. She, of course, sings about this. Zidler tells Satine to convince Christian that she does not love him so that Christian will not be killed. Zidler once again comes across pretty nice in this scene, at least, which is helpful because the film's dark turn has lasted quite a while, and all the fun is kind of gone at this point. Zidler sings, and what I swear to God is not his voice, because he sang earlier and he sounded horrible. The show must go on, and Satine goes to break up with Christian and save him. She tells him she chooses the Maharaja, and the sky turns dark. The screen runneth over with symbolism that's all subtle as a tornado, and Christian sulks for a bit, which is really no fun at all. Christian is filled with doubt about Satine not loving him, so he hawks his typewriter for some cash and heads back to the Moulin Rouge one last time. He narrates that. Luckily, the Moulin Rouge is still sort of fun, so there's some jaunty musical goodness right there. We finally get to see the epic play that they've been rehearsing this whole time, and you know, it's really not that bad looking. Hell, the Duke looks thrilled to see it, and the play's pretty much about how much of a cock he is, and he should know that. I don't know. The play mirrors the fact that Satine is sacrificing herself to save Christian. Satine is hacking up a lung the whole time, and Christian sneaks backstage to rather crazily try to pay Satine for their time together. He ends up on stage in the play as the fucking penniless sitar player through a usual sort of cartoony convolutedness that the film uses, and he pays her on stage, denounces their love, and says Satine has cured him of his ridiculous obsession with love, and Christian walks off stage and heads for the door. Suddenly, Toulouse, or John Leguizamo the dwarf, dressed as the sitar, that only speaks the truth, because that's part of it, and I didn't say that before. He's the sitar, because he's a dwarf. He yells the film's theme, the greatest thing you'll ever learn is just to love and be loved in return. Satine sings Christian their special song, their special super secret song, and lives for the moment. They sing together, and everything is made right except Satine's death at the end of the movie, which they don't talk about right there. But the film then switches back into zaniness as the Duke's manservant tries to kill Christian, and everyone sings the final song. And the Duke tries to shoot Christian, and Zidler knocks him out, and making him again kind of a likable character, and everything reaches this really fun kind of ending right there. Then, with love conquering all, the film ends with Satine's death following the play. Christian finally learns that she is dying, because he didn't know that yet, and the movie pretty much goes to the only conclusion it can. The camera sweeps outside, and we see that narrator, singer dude from the beginning again, so that's really cool, because that's consistent. He sings again about the very strange, enchanted special boy who is at his typewriter writing out their story, a story about love. The film over, Christian finishes the novel or whatever he was writing, and the film ends. Let me just say, overall, I like this movie. I like it for its visual style, which is inventive and flashy, without being nothing but jumbled quick cuts and fucking Tony Scott shit. And I like that it's able to wrap you up in the world of the Moulin Rouge. And I love the performances, especially Jim Broadbent as Zidler and the dude who plays the Duke. He's really good. I don't think by any stretch this is an amazing love story, though. It's a fucking Disney movie for adults, with as deep a love story as Beauty and the Beast or Aladdin. Moulin Rouge is like a high-concept sci-fi movie about love, where it uses broad strokes, character cliches, and visuals to paint a unique picture with relatable concepts at its center. The film could easily be picked apart, which I think I kind of did, for its leaps in logic, character stupidity, and other noticeable flaws, which is similar to how Confused Matthew, which this was response to, his reviews usually work for him disliking a movie. But Moulin Rouge doesn't need logic, because it's really just about love and flashiness. The death of Satine doesn't seem deep to me so much as an example of a cliched love story. And the broad concept of love stories, a tragic death, is the cliched ending. I don't think that it is necessary for this jaunty, crazy fucking movie. I mean, they could have actually flown away to the singing fucking moon and high-fived the goddamn stars, and it would have fit the film perfectly. In the end, when Christian sits at his typewriter as that sad dude sings, and the whole thing comes to an end, it is a sad ending, and we relate and we empathize, but it's built out of cliches, so I didn't really get into it. Disney movies don't emotionally affect me. I am not being a cold bastard about this, it's just that I need real characters to see deep emotions in. Satine is beyond cliched. She's a hooker with a heart of gold who aspires to be an actress and has movie death syndrome. Christian is the young, impressionable dreamer with a silly band of eccentric sidekicks. Come on! You want a great love story? I'll put my snooty cap on and suggest David Lean's Summertime, a film starring Katharine Hepburn as a spinster who has saved her money and gone alone on a dream vacation to Italy by herself, hoping to live just a little. She meets a charming local man who is married, though they are estranged, and for a short time she feels love, if just a little. I don't even remember if they fucking kissed, but the characters felt so real and the emotions were encompassing, and it had this truly fucking touching ending that was so damn simple. Or shit, John and Holly McClane in Die Hard's relationship felt more real than the ones in Moulin Rouge. And ultimately, that's the problem with the film, at least as some sort of an emotional connection or like a real story. It's not. It is a flashy, neat, like music video. Like I said, it's a sci-fi movie set in the past about love. It is a crazy fucking movie, but that's pretty much it. And as this crazy fucking movie about love and crazy shit and broad concepts, it works brilliantly with great musical sequences, as long as you don't mind hearing songs that you sometimes don't like. It all works great, and I thoroughly enjoy the movie for its flashiness. It's not a deep film. And if you think it's a deep film, then you got to be reading into it what you want. In the same way that I like the Fifth Element, that I read into that movie. I read in that the guy wrote it, Luc Besson, the director, he wrote it when he was a teenager, and it's like a teenager. It's a very immature movie. I read into. I don't fucking know that, and that's the only way I can see that this movie is deep.